stories of miracles that change people's lives forever. Is there a single love of our life that we're destined to be with? What if you knew as a child that you had found that special person? For two American kids growing up in Guatemala, it seemed very clear. And though they would later be separated for many years, fate would find a way to bring them together with a miracle. Christina Jordan first met Matt Eason when they were 10 years old and living in Central America.
Me and Matt first met in Guatemala when we were in 4th grade. My dad was a pastor of a church there where his family attended, and we also lived right across the street from each other.
Even at an early age, Christina and Matt felt a special connection.
Matt was my first crush, and probably my only crush for a very long time after we met. He was the cutest guy in all of 4th grade, in the whole school for that matter.
Christina was the first girl that I ever kissed. I remember kissing her 3 times on the face, on the cheek, and then running away.
But that connection was cut short when Christina's family moved back to the United States.
I remember being in the bathroom, crying a lot, just being really sad that we weren't going to get to spend time with each other anymore. I really had a feeling in my heart that I wouldn't see him again.
I just felt a real strong connection with Christina from the beginning, and a sense that something really big was over.
Christina and her family settled in Austin, Texas. Matt and his family eventually moved to California, but the memories of each other never faded.
I thought of Matt several times after we had parted ways in Guatemala.
And I would wonder, what's she doing now? Where is she? What does she look like?
As young adults, both found the search for love to be a painful and frustrating journey.
I was done with relationships for a while. It was so painful, the last bad, big relationship. I wanted to be alone. I didn't want to have any obligations.
I had been out of a relationship for quite a while and not really dating very many people, and getting kind of frustrated, wondering if God was ever going to bring me a man to marry. I was having a hard time, obviously, picking a spouse, and I prayed that God would bring my husband through my father. If God was able to find me a husband and bring him to me through my dad, then I would know beyond a shadow of doubt that that's the man I'm supposed to marry.
Christina's prayers were about to be answered. While shopping at a local clothing store, Christina's parents, Mickey and Diane Jordan, made a fascinating discovery.
Hey, Mickey, look.
My dad manufactures clothing that is only in select stores. And it just so happened that her dad was in one of these rare stores and came across a shirt that had my dad's label on it. And he said, I wonder if that's Bob Eason from Guatemala.
And what amazed me was it had Bob Eason's name on it, had Bob Eason's email address.
Come on, email that guy.
We shared a couple of emails back and forth. I said, oh, by the way, if Matthew's interested, Christina's email address is this.
I emailed Christina first and just sort of, do you remember me? This is my life for the past 15 years.
My first reaction to Matt's email was pretty dramatic. I was so elated and went running through the house, busted open my parents' door, and I was like, I just got an email from Matthew Eason.
After 15 years, Christina and Matt finally talked on the phone for 7 hours.
I've always wondered, what in the world would they talk about for 7 hours? I've had friends and family say, we don't talk to our loved ones for 7 hours, much less someone who's almost a stranger.
We talked about everything. We gave each other our life history.
We talked about our whole lives for the past 15 years and what we remember about each other in Guatemala, about how we had such a crush on each other.
Just the more that we talked to each other, the more I felt I had a real connection with him.
Having not seen each other since they were 10, both wondered if the physical attraction would be as strong as it was.
I asked her to email me a picture. The first time I'm seeing her, I'm downloading this picture. When I saw her smile, it's the most beautiful smile I've ever seen.
So we exchanged pictures, and he has that real outdoorsy man look, and I just fell for him when I saw that picture.
Matt flew to Texas, where he and Christina reunited. After dating for a while, Matt realized that it was fate. She was the one he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. His proposal was unique. Her reaction was priceless.
I had invited him to come to New York City with me to be with me and my family.
But I told her I was going to stay here. All the while I was planning to surprise her there.
To go on a carriage ride in Central Park. We were getting ready to get on a carriage, and my father just flippantly asked me a question.
Hey, Christina, what is your Christmas wish today?
I want to live happily ever after
with Matthew. Well, that is cool. And
we got in the carriage and rode through Central Park, and I proposed to her there in the park on one knee.
He told me he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me and that he loved me. He wanted to know if I would be his wife. And I just kept saying yes, yes, yes over and over again.
Christina and Matt's wedding was an unforgettable occasion.
It was very emotional, very exciting. But it was beautiful because it was seeing God answer her prayer. And anytime we see him answer a prayer, it just brings joy.
Everyone involved agrees this relationship was a miracle in the making.
I firmly believe that when you pray in accordance with God's will, that he can make things beyond your wildest dreams happen.
Well, there's a Bible verse in Proverbs from the Living Bible that says, we can toss the coin, but the Lord directs its path.
It's a very miraculous thing because there's no way I could have ever done it on my own.
No doubt about it that Christina and Matthew were meant to be together. You can't have all these things and just call them coincidences.
I have a feeling that it's all meant to be, and that if Christina and I can meet this way, then the rest of our lives can be filled with this kind of destiny and hope.
It looks...
6 ball, corner pocket. Nice shot. 4 ball, in the corner. Show off. 5 ball, all the way down.
Looks like someone had his heart set on a bigger tax refund. At Jackson Hewitt, the average refund is $400 more than the average IRS refund. Jackson Hewitt, get the refund you deserve.
Scratch. You touched the ball.